cover. I recently reached a major milestone, 100 subscribers. Thank you so much for getting me to this point in my YouTube career. I'm currently here wearing my, I believe it was the 2019 BNSF hat and an actual BNSF vest, as you can see, given to me by a good friend. I'm down here at the La Crosse Amtrak station. We are currently awaiting the Amtrak train, but as any avid rail fanner, any train that comes is the train we get. So, enjoy. In fact, we do have a train that is right now, I don't know if you can see this, but it is right down past the signal block. Right down at the end of the line. There is a yard job over there, so if you're hearing stuff, that's the yard job over there. That's a train going northbound. In fact, the Amtrak is supposed to be coming from over here. And sorry for this camera shake. I'm horrible at holding the camera. There's my ride today. So, the idea for this live stream is to be Q&A / Railfanning / well, gratitude episode. Excuse me. That's also the reason I didn't do this right when it happened, is because I was waiting until I was at least a little better before attempting this. But yeah, like I said, there is a train coming down from the other end of the line. And now the sun is deciding to come out, so that'll be good. Amtrak, as far as I've been made aware, is on time. So it should be coming in here within the next hour. So, for me right now, I'm going to set this camera here and we'll watch. Alright, so, update. A BNSF train is right now currently having authority over the diamond. It's right at the end of the line there. Oh, you can see right past that car. See another train's got block authority over the diamond right now. BNSF has permission to cross the tracks. Once that train is clear, the train coming into the yard will move across the diamond. And by the looks of it, it's going to be double stack mixed freight. But in the meantime, we'll also probably see the yard job coming around the corner there. Yep. There it is. This yard job is a local. It usually takes and sorts out the cars to the classification yard here and helps it get moved to the next train. So as it's coming around the corner here, this will be 2292. It'll be a GP, believe a GP 20C Eco. Yep. Right there, pretty cool sight to see. That is an end of train device held in its storage bin that is in the back of these locomotives. Right there is the sand filler hatch and the horn. A GP20C Eco, also known as a DRS-20. This locomotive is just waiting for the guy down at the end of the yard to realign a switch. This is carrying a Class 9 hazard, which is mostly your lithium ions. It's all your fun miscellaneous hazard. It's got all the nice hazardous goods. Now, of course, this is a EMD locomotive, 2-axle trucks. Most of these locomotives are used for yard jobs and small transitions between yards. We have a 5-bay hopper car, and this is going to be rolling right back in. You gotta look at that bell there. As it pulls forward again. Now, EMD has a unique style fuel tank. Essentially, the fuel tank is loaded right here, right in that little area there, slash oil fill there, as well as this. This is on all EMD locomotives that I've seen. It is the air compressor tanks. They are situated right above the fuel tank, and they're on both sides. Classic configuration of an EMD locomotive. Now, another cool feature that most people don't usually see is usually underneath, in between the axles, there's a thing called a traction motor. You can kind of just see it in there. There it goes, shoving it all the way back into the yard. Now, once that train clears the switch for the diamond. The train that's still sitting down on the other end of the diamond is going to pull forward. You can see its headlight right there. It'll pull through, and I believe it's going to pull into the yard. And what it's going to do is drop off the cars and pick up the other set and take it on its journey through. I do not know its location, where it is headed, so that's the best estimated guess on my end. I kind of dropped off on knowing a lot of the railroad operations. Either that, or Diamond is waiting track authority, and if it is given, that train will pull into the yard. Otherwise, it's also waiting for another train to clear through, and then it'll pull in. And this is based on an educated guess, so we'll watch what happens. Time is currently coming around 11, 10-2. Yes, I have a pocket watch. Yeah, I don't use the classic phone to check the time. I'm very strange. If you guys would like to see the pocket watch, here you are. Now, down here at the Amtrak station, I am on Empire Builder route. It is the Amtrak Superliner train that goes from... The one that I'm currently waiting for is the southbound. Some people call it eastbound. The southbound to... from Portland and Seattle down to Chicago. And the night train, which departs from Chicago Union Station, makes the journey back up here and makes the journey down up to Seattle and then down to Portland. That is the northbound train that comes through here about 7 o'clock. I've ridden this train from the Twin Cities down here just, I believe, a year ago now. Albeit the bridge, well, didn't suffer too well. This is a fun story I like to tell. This is so interesting. The Amtrak stopped for a barge to go under the bridge. It's a drawbridge style. Well, it was the first boat through after a major storm. No, was that the bridge had suffered damage and, well, it got stuck in the raised position. Well, next thing you know, they got it fixed almost a half an hour later. Drawbridge down and locked with a temporary fix. and they got the train down here. Mind you, this was the bridge coming in to La Crosse here, so it was a pretty interesting incident. I wonder if we've got any questions. No, doesn't look like it. No one's posted any questions yet. Yep, there you go, impact. An impact event or a buff event. You know, they're going to do a draft event here once the air brakes are tied on. A fun story about that. There was actually, originally they didn't have to tie the air brakes back in like 2001. And because of that, an incident happened in 2001 with an SD40-2. I'm pretty sure most of you train buffs know where I'm going with this. The Crazy 8s incident, CSX 8888. Left the CSX yard with no air brakes and took off. And, ooh boy, was it a fun thing to chase down. But sure enough, that's what happened. Like I said, if you guys have any questions for me or have any suggestions for some videos, I'm all ears waiting for you. So feel free to type down in the live chat below here. I don't think it's subscribers only, but I can't really see from my end. Mostly because I'm on a phone, of course. Clouds look as if the storm's coming in. But it's already starting to turn in the weather anyways, so it might just be snow clouds just waiting to move in. I was just checking to see if the chat wasn't working. Again, I want to thank all my viewers here for getting me to 100 subscribers. Now under the journey of the 200, 300, 400, 500. And we'll start moving up to the thousands. Well, while we're waiting for a train to move in, I got some Q&A that I had previously gotten, but haven't gone through them yet. First question was sent to me by a subscriber. Are you ever going to finish the DOT vehicle tutorial series? Yes, I just have not had the time to do it. I will get around to it very quickly. I'm hoping to finish that off possibly by the end of the year. The second question was, what are your plans with your city here? And I asked for clarification, and you said a Minecraft city that I was building, in referring to the major Minecraft world that I've been building. Plans for the city: started work on the high-rise district. Got a lot of work done. I'm gonna have to show it to you once it's ready for the next tour. Third question that I've been given is, are you still taking commissions for builds? Now, this is actually a two-parter answer. One, I don't take commissions. I feel as if people who ask for commissions for a Minecraft build, in the degree of like, we'll take for example a YouTuber called Crafty Fox, one that I previously had admired, I've come to regret that. He's asking for almost $100 a locomotive. A Minecraft build, a locomotive, back when I was working hard at the Castilla City Railroad shops where I was building trains, I was shucking out about 20 a day. And worth $120. I don't care what anyone says. Yes, I get time is valuable, time is money. But when someone who is in a position where take for example, me, I didn't know how to build a train way back when. But once you start learning and you start building, once I started shelling them out like there was no end, what's the point, you know? You're paying $120 for something you'll probably only ever see once. In my opinion, that money is best spent elsewhere. Minecraft build of a single locomotive. Sure, if you want the highest detail, some people will ask for a little bit of money. Sure, if I was in desperate need of money, I would say $10, but that's to the extent of it. It's a Minecraft build. Now, there's the difference between a single locomotive, a fleet of cars, and then you have builds like, for example, and this is the best way I can put it, a World Trade Center tutorial, or a giant version of the Disney castle, or hell, even Hogwarts. Now, an entire build that involves landscaping, measurements, and a long time, yeah, sure, that does take a lot. And I'd accept $120 for that. Yeah, that would be acceptable. Because, I mean, that's a heck of a lot of time spent. So, to answer your question, with the fact that I take requests, sure, I could take requests. Any build you want to see, car tutorial, vehicle tutorial, train tutorial, God forbid, any type of tutorial, really. I could teach you on the basics of building your own custom firehouse or fire engine. Glad to do any of that. But the thing is, I will not ask for money for something like that because it's just really no point to it. It's a waste of your money and a waste of my time. If you know what I mean. Not saying that the commissions are a waste of my time. Sure, they're fun to build. But like I said, it's a waste of money just to pay that much. So, all I'm saying is if somebody asks you for a ridiculous amount of money for something that, yes, has a lot of detail, but there's no more than probably a couple of hundred blocks put together, or a couple. For example, a locomotive has approximately 1,000 blocks, or not even probably. Like I think an SD40-2, the way I've measured it from coupler to coupler, 33 by 7. It's a couple thousand blocks, but that's it. Heck, probably not even. So all I'm saying, don't waste your money. Don't think I'm going to ask for money because there's no reason to. Now, sure, if you want to send a commission in a live stream, sure. But I'm saying don't think that I'm expecting anyone to, because, like, that's just not how I roll. Now, another person has asked me this and said I wasn't clear enough. And I thought, sure, that's fair to point out. So, there was an incident on Discord a while back. And that's what I thought. There was another train having to cross through the diamond. It just had a slow start. We had an incident on our Discord server where some guys came in and started claiming things. And somebody asked me to clear it up. And sure enough, I cleared it up, but I wasn't specific enough. These guys have been trying to torture me for quite a while now. They started using my posts and altering them. And what they did is essentially, I don't want to get demonetized for this, so the way I'm going to put it is they basically portrayed me as something that would essentially have me behind bars. Let's put it that way. No, I am not. I am 100% sure that I have not done anything like that. I want to point out that none of what they're saying is true. So I wanted to point that out because a lot of people have been getting skeptical because of how vague I've been. But more or less, the vaguity was because I've dealt with these guys for a couple of years now. They've been trying to bring me down. And in my opinion, I'm just done with them. Because all they're doing is trying to tear something down that's been taking years to build up. And in my opinion, that just means you've run out of a purpose in life. My opinion, when you start trying to tear others down, your life's worth has just been depleted, because you don't do that if your life has no other purpose. So, I wanted to point that out. And last but not... Oh, hey, little kitty, please don't cross the tracks. Oh, dear. You have a kitty on the railroad. And one more thing I want to kind of clear up. So there's been some controversy going around about what happened on a server I used to be in called Foxyard. There was an incident that happened that apparently a build had gone missing, and I ended up getting the blame for it, because I had just recently gotten a rank that permits the ability to have a command that can make builds disappear, albeit that is something I wouldn't do. Now, that's what happened, and essentially everything lined up perfectly, and it just was bad timing, wrong place, wrong time. And I've accepted it because, you know, my eyes, they were gonna look for something to ban me anyways, so I wasn't too worried about it. I already knew my head was on the chopping block the second I got Lieutenant. I kind of figured that a while back, actually, because the fact that, one, nobody wanted me to get it because nobody thought I was good enough. But I want to point out one thing here. Those who think they're the superior builders have an inferiority complex. They think just because that someone can't build one specific thing, they're inferior to everyone. They're the lowest of the low, the worst of the worst. No. I want to point out to any Minecrafters here, just because you can't build, like for example me, just because you can't build what I built, don't let that put you down. That is not okay. To have someone think it's okay to put you down. Because right there, that's a bully. Anyone who tries to bring others down just for the sake of keeping themselves on top, essentially what they're trying to do is build themselves into a pyramid, placing them at the top and you at the bottom. Don't fall for it. Don't do it. It will mess with you in ways that you don't want to be messed with. And look at me, I'm all rambling here. I'm talking too much. Well, I'm going to check the time here. It is approximately 1/4 after. Amtrak should be coming down the line. Now, I want to turn the attention to railroading. Because one person had a question for me. What got you into railroading? Well, the answer is I've always been into railroading. I can't put myself in a position where I'm alone for 14 hours at a time out of state, always on call, have to go. I just can't see myself doing that. But I've always been fascinated by trains. Those who say they aren't enchanted by a steam locomotive's whistle, they're lying. That's just my way of saying it. Anyone who says the steam engines look ugly, well, some do. I'll admit that. Some just look atrocious. But others look absolutely gorgeous, and the haunting sound of the whistle, that's what'll get ya. We just had a caution block open up here on this line. Track 1 main. Excuse me. Gesundheit. Another thing is that I've always been fascinated by the way a train is built, the way it has evolved. The locomotive there that you saw coming through here, that locomotive is at least a good 20, 30 years old. It'll look like it, but I also want to point out that locomotive was rebuilt. I believe it was a GP20 at one point, rebuilt it in the GP20C Eco configuration, where it's a bit more cleaner. And now it's what you see as today. Originally started with a boiler on 2 sets of wheels and axles. And a bunch of pistons. Like, for example, Puffing Billy. Well, the thing looks complex, but it really wasn't. It just was a simple design. Classic 440s, always enchanting. Heck, I can't even remember a time when I haven't been enchanted by a steam locomotive.
That turned into a soccer ball.
Uh-oh. We got some kids behind me playing very, very close to the track, and the ball just went onto the track. Starting to get a little worried over there. I'll be right back. I'm gonna let them know just to be careful around the tracks, because God knows there's a train coming in here at 75 miles an hour. Train's not gonna be able to stop for them. Sorry about that. After a recent incident, I get very nervous when people are around railroad lines because, yeah, there was a incident where somebody actually got hit on this line, albeit they said they weren't injured. But also, I want to point out that those kids were starting to run into the tracks to actually catch the ball, so I was just letting them know just not to throw them towards the tracks, just for the line of safety, because of the fact that you got a train moving at 79 miles an hour, 75, 79 miles an hour. It's not going to be able to stop, especially when it's going that fast, because a locomotive is not like a vehicle. No matter how many times somebody says they can beat a train across the tracks, when you're not looking for it, it can sneak up behind you. Especially on a double track territory where you have one train that's constantly making noise, you won't hear the other one creeping up behind you. Double track territory, I want to remind everyone, is a very, very dangerous place. While you're watching one train, you won't notice the other one. And in fact, that is actually how, unfortunately, people have been injured or worse. So I want to remind everyone to always keep in mind when there's railroad lines, always expect that there's a train. Heck, that's a good rule of thumb when you're crossing a railroad crossing. First, stop, look, and listen, and always expect that the train could be just around the corner. Because I've seen enough incidents. I don't want to keep seeing them. And that's why I make sure to... Yep, and speaking of, there's the train. And that's why I try to keep everyone safe. Is because the trains like that could be moving in and you won't even notice them because you're too busy focusing on what you're trying to do. You won't notice that the train is barreling right down the tracks. And even a horn may not be noticed until seconds too late. So, lessons to take from here. Lesson 1, always keep your head on a swivel in double or more track territory. Anytime you're watching one train, always be sure to keep an eye out for your safety lines. A good rule of thumb is 20 feet from the nearest rail. Now, for me, I know my distance, I know how close, and I know when it's good to step back. Things can come off the train and hit you. Things can come up from under the track. Debris on the track can come up and hit you. So do not stand too close to the tracks. And also, always be aware of a possible train that you may have not previously seen. That is my lesson to you. And now we have Amtrak on the way. At least I think it's Amtrak. The way it sounded like an Amtrak locomotive. Sounded similar to a K5LA horn. It was definitely heading over the railroad crossing down over the Mississippi. After all, it's 30 after, train's coming. Let's see, no one's watching currently. I'll check the chat here while we wait for the Amtrak to arrive. Okay, nothing yet. I don't know if this will work. I'm trying to find a good spot to set this. Or I might just hold it. You can hear a draft event just happen just behind me. Alright, looks like my battery decided it's not wanting to live as long. So hopefully we can get this train right at the end here. This train is supposed to leave at 37 after. We've been here almost an hour, so if it ends up being what it ends up being, then so be it. Train's moving back there, further back into that classification yard. Yeah, you can hear the impact event. Alright, let's take a look at the time again. It is almost 35 after. Well, what do we have here? Just sitting down there. And now it's going back up. Back into the yard it goes. They essentially take apart trains and realign them to keep them on their journeys. Ah, here comes the other train we're waiting for. It's gonna be Amtrak. Amtrak southbound for Chicago. Portland, Seattle, Chicago. Let's see what we got for the locomotives, shall we? It's just gonna be coming over the bridges of the Mississippi. Should be coming around that corner there. I want to point out that the yard job is making all the noise back here too. Now the locomotive is running a little light while it's waiting for, well, it's rolling back to pick up some more cars. It's now 36 after. Locomotive should be should see the Amtrak's nose just any minute now. Oh, it's gonna come right down to the wire. My battery's at 10%. Oh no. Come right down to the wire. Come on, where are you, Amtrak? gonna be right down to the freaking wire here. Sorry. It's already been an hour here, and I'm still waiting for this dumb train. Oh, I hear it. That ain't no Amtrak. What are you? What is that? That doesn't look like Amtrak. So, I've been waiting my time for nothing. Well, I guess we won't be seeing Amtrak today. It's gonna be a Norfolk Southern. Well, at least that's something. Amtrak D9-44CW. Oh, listen to that GE whoop. Oops, sorry. What is this? This looks essentially brand new. Well, it's gonna be a mixed freight. But that'll have to be all today. We got a standard boxcar. A bunch of UTLX tanker cars with class 3 flammable liquids. It's gonna be lumber, 4-bay cylindricals, or not cylindricals, but TILX grain cars. Ooh, a Procore. Carrying chemicals by the looks of it. There we go, it's the final. And these have special type couplers to help with preventing rollover in derailments. But these have hot plates on them, so that means there's a lot of chemicals that are hot in there. They have to remain that way to keep them from going kablooey. Woofda! They have to remain heated to keep them from going kablooey. So, there's the end of train device. And that'll be all. Thank you guys for watching this stream. Thank you for getting me to 100 subscribers. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully, we'll be seeing Amtrak next time. Bye.